what I find a lot of our clients have gone from being sort of a mum and dad business, if you want to call that, maybe mum and dad and their son helping them or whatever, maybe no staff, and then they've gone over the years, and then they might have 10, 20, 200 staff, and so suddenly their risk profile's changing. They might have had a couple of small customers, and now they might have, $1 million contracts. So as your risk profile's changing, it's a sensible time, and you often then have the cash flow as well to revisit your contracts and to look at your risk management and see if it's all sort of out of kilter.
But it's also the legislative changes. In some, even on, for instance, when we talk about employment agreements, I mean, the employment environment is dramatically different than what it was 5 years ago. The obligations to the employer is enormous compared to what it was. And then we've got these issues of working from home, working from the office. How does that work? All of those sorts of agreements. And it's a bit like that refresh. It's like to go back in and qualify, go, I'm comfortable with that. Or maybe we need to make some adjustments to the way we have our agreements in place. So,
that's true. The legislative changes come along and they can make your whole agreement invalid if you're talking about the wrong bit of workplace legislation or whatever, which isn't going to help you. Or there can be changes which you can exclude certain things that are in the legislation, and the contract has to do that. And if it does do that, then they're excluded, and if it doesn't, then they're included. A big example of that was the Personal Property Securities Register, the PPSA, which was brought in to stop what they used to have fixed and floating charges.
They love all those technical sort of terms, the PPSA.
But that meant if you're a business that hired out equipment and you hired it out and you didn't register your interest in the equipment, and then your customer went into liquidation, the liquidator was the owner of that equipment, even though they'd never paid for it. They hadn't bought it. So not registering on the PPSA had pretty serious consequences for many businesses.